Hi everybody, it's Snow. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be giving you guys club owning tips and application tips. So without any further ado, let's get started. We're going to start off with one of the most important factors in making a club, which is the club name. If you're going to make a club, you have to think through your club name thoroughly, because a lot of people join depending on if the club name is nice or not. So, for example, if you have a club named Massive Mothers, it might sound like a bit of a joke to people, and you'll get a few members that want to join because the name might sound funny, but eventually they will end up leaving, which is not good for you or your club. So you want to find a name that's catchy and really pulls people in, and it has to sound the name has to make sense, if you get what I mean. So a name like Flower Girls or, Frost Sisters, the Star Squad, I've seen around, or, Frosty Queens, because those names are catchy and they will be stuck in people's heads. You also want to pick a really short, sweet, and memorable name, because I think it's a club called Nom Nom Bananas Generation or something. That's an incredibly long name, and that's gonna be not gonna lie, really ugly displayed over your character's head. It's a really long name, and it's really not catchy. It also doesn't make sense. So it sounds like the name of a club a noob might make, not trying to be offensive. But yeah, you want it to be sound professional. I named my club Dangerous Sisters, which has a reason behind it. For example, we're a spy themed club, and we're Dangerous Sisters, known as the Sisters. And it's short and sweet, so it's also memorable because people won't forget it. And if they see you around, they'll be like, "Oh, those are the sisters." Number 2, planning your club. So before making a club, I highly suggest you want to plan it and go through everything first, because if you just make a club without any planning it and you name it again Massive Mothers or something, you haven't planned your Discord server if you're going to use it. You haven't planned maybe an Instagram account. You haven't planned a club outfit, club info, club calendar, theme, events. You haven't planned any of that. So you're going to be very unprepared. And if someone's going to ask you, "Oh, what's your club about?" you have no idea because you're totally unprepared. And by the time you finally get to the point, they'll already have left. You also want to plan any social medias or any platforms that you're going to be using to communicate with your club. If you want your club to succeed, I highly recommend you get Discord for your club. Discord is a gaming platform. It's like a chat platform for gamers. So it allows you to organize your club without physically being on Star Stable. And that way everyone knows what they're doing, what they're supposed to be doing, and it's just very organized and neat. For example, my club Dangerous Sisters uses Discord. We use Discord to communicate. We use them to organize events and stuff because, a lot of people aren't on Star Stable when you're announcing the events. So if you tag everyone in Discord, everyone's like, "Oh, there's an event right now, we need to go to it," or something. It's just a really great way to stay organized. And also to advertise your club, I highly recommend Instagram as well. Our club, again, Dangerous Sisters, has an Instagram account that we post our events and our regular feed so that people look at our club and they're like, "Oh, that's an interesting theme. Maybe I should apply." In the beginning, when you make your club, you want to advertise in global once in a while so that people get to know your club, they get to know what you're about, and, get an Instagram that shows others what you're about so that you can get everyone's interest and, hook them. And if they're clubless and looking for their club, they might be like, "Oh, I remember Dangerous Sisters," or whatever club that you make. "I want to apply for them now." Tip number 3, rules. I want you guys to be really strict on your rules if you're going to be making a club, because your members need to know that you are in charge. That might sound a little bossy at first, but they really need to know that you are in charge. They need to follow your rules. If you're like really loose on your rules, then they won't follow them because they'll be like, oh, I broke it once, the club owner doesn't seem to care, I'll just continue doing it. You need to be very strict. You need to have specific rules like no bullying, no swearing whatsoever, or, that kind of rules. Like, you want your club to be friendly and also drama free because on the internet, word spreads really fast, so you also want to keep your club drama free. Tip number 5, make sure you have an interesting theme or something that people tend to care about. The Stars Squad is a cheerleading themed club, and Your Vic Witches is a witchcraft themed club. You want to come up with something that's like interesting and really hooks your audience. Tip number 6. Another part of being a club owner is more personality-wise. You have to be really open-minded and you can't be sensitive at all. It's not going to work out if you're generally a sensitive person because during your time as a club owner, you will have to deal with hate, you will have to deal with drama and criticism, and you will have to at one point kick members out if they're not doing what's best for the club. So you need to be emotionally prepared for that. You need to be able to deal with that kind of emotional pressure because I know as a club owner and being a club member for years that everything puts the club owner through a lot. Organizing, there's a lot of pressure on you. Organizing, again, making sure everything is right, and also dealing with drama because there is a lot of drama whether you'd like it or not. So the best way for that is to make sure that your members are aware, and you want mature members so that drama's not that often, and you also want your members to be somewhat closer to each other so they're not they don't know each other at all because they're going to be insulting each other whether you like it or not. Tip number 7. Now something very important is you should always value quality over quantity. 3 active and kind loyal members in your club is way better than a full club with inactive rude people. I've experienced it firsthand. I've owned Danger Sisters multiple times as remakes, and the very first time I was a noob, and I was like, okay, I need to get my entire club, 50 people max, as soon as possible. And guess what? I eventually filled my club, but everyone was super rude and disrespectful. I had 10 people leaving every day, which put me in a lot of emotional pressure, which is why I also said that, if you're a sensitive person, you shouldn't be owning a club because it'll probably make you break down at least once a day. But yeah, quality over quantity, because if you value quality over quantity, you will still grow. You might grow a little slower because it is hard to find those loyal people, but trust me, your club will be way better off. And it's something that it might be really hard to do in the beginning because you might be like, oh, but I want more members, But the truth is, they don't care if you the people who are gonna apply for a club, they don't care how many members you have. They just care if you're an active club, a kind club, and a club that suits them. They don't care how many members you have. Tip number 8. As a club owner, you have to stick to your word. You can't back out on anything, and you have to be more active than the members to be a good role model. I've been in a few clubs where the owner logged on once a day, meanwhile the members were on 24/7, and that is not a good role model. Tip number 9, have applications. I also recommend that your club uses applications and has a reading period to seem more professional, because when I started off as a club owner, what I do to my people, in global, I'd be like, oh, who wants to join? And then someone would be like, oh, me. And then I'd be like, okay, you're in. And then I just accept them randomly. You can't do that. You need to be strict on your applications and your reading periods. And you need to know about the person. You need to see if they're loyal, if they're active, if they're honest. You need to somewhat get to know their personality before you accept them into the club. I've also noticed that the harder it is to get into a club, the more people, want to join. So, I'm not saying to make your club hard to join, but, give them an application process to, make them feel like your club is truly professional. And now back to the general facts on your club. You want to have a good club outfit because a club outfit is something unique to a club and your members will have to wear it. So if your club outfit is really ugly and just a bad outfit, you'll probably embarrass your members a ton and they'll never buy or use the outfit. So you want to come up with a nice looking outfit that people actually want to wear. For example, I like the outfit of my club Dangerous Sisters because it's pretty formal. The colors match. It basically you can wear it on any horse and it's a really cozy outfit. So that's why, me and my members love it. You also want to have a co-owner or leaders that will help you manage your club because if you have a bigger club after a while, you will need help. Girl, you're not going to be able to handle over 50 members by yourself. So what I recommend is you find a good friend or someone responsible and also not sensitive that you know and you trust will help you make your club a better place. They also have to be active and mature because, they'll be able to handle it when you can't. And as a club owner, you can't favor a specific member. You can't excuse a certain member just because they're your best friend. You have to treat each member equally. And if you do treat them not the same, the other members will realize it. They'll think it's unfair and they'll be out. Another tip is that again, you want to be active and you want to host events. Once you start getting people, you want to teach them things because then it'll be interesting, if you know what I mean. So those are all my tips for if you're going to be a club owner or you're looking forward to being a club owner. Next up, I'll be giving some tips for applying for a club. Number 1, be honest. Don't lie about your age, even if it's a club with an age restriction and you get in, let's say. They will find out at one point that, you're not as old as you said you are. And you will be booted out and you will get a bad reputation. You also have to be really honest when it comes to how active and how loyal you are. And don't leave on the first day that you get into the club. That is completely disrespectful. If you're applying, please don't make a prank. You only apply once. Number 2, effort. Putting effort into your application. You want to write a lot to show them how much you're willing to put in just to get into the club. Let's say they ask you, why do you want to join the club? If you're going to honestly apply and say that I want to join the club because it is big, what the heck, honestly? That's just a waste of the owner's time reading your application. If you're going to apply, at least, let us know that you want to be in the club, So there was one person in the applications. We're like, why do you want to join? She's like, my friend's in the club. If you want to join a club because your friend is in that club, there's no point. If you want to join a club, it should be because you want a family, not just because you want to be with that one friend of yours.